requests. And today I am here to assist the Rujina portal as a moderator. Before starting to this webinar, we would like to share you some short video with you while other participants are joining with us. Thank you. Odjo?
Yes.
Odjo, we cannot hear. Can you turn on the speaker as well?
In technical and vocational education and training, your solution is mastering technical and vocational education and training at Kathmandu University School of Education. Are you expecting your career as a researcher, instructor, manager, and an entrepreneur in technical and vocational education and training? Your solution is mastering technical and vocational education and training at Kathmandu University School of Education.
Master in Technical and Vocational Education and Training is a pioneer program that Kathmandu University began last year. This is the only such program in South Asia. The program focuses on preparing educators, leaders and managers, researchers, and entrepreneurs in the field of technical and vocational education. As this is the only such program, and in Nepal, there has been huge investment in recent years in this TVET sector. There has been a very high job prospect in this particular area.
MTVET at Kathmandu University School of Education operates in collaboration with ETH Zurich, Switzerland. It facilitates its students with highly professional national and international faculties, digital classroom with model-based materials and assignments, and also full and partial scholarship.
Okay, thank you so much, Ajay and Odjo, for the presentation, for the video. So namaste once again, and good evening, everyone. I hope you all are doing well and staying safe. A warm welcome to all, and thank you so much for joining us today on this webinar. I'm Rujina. I'm MTVET scholar of Kathmandu University School of Education. I hold a bachelor degree in civil engineering, and I'm currently intern at Ensure project under Helvetas, Swiss Intercooperation, Nepal. So I'm moderator for today with my co-host Ajay Paudel. So this webinar is organized by MTVET 2019 Scholar with the support of our professors. So now I would like to welcome respected Dean Sir, HOD Sir, our guest speakers, professors, my MTVET fellows, and all the participants from different parts of the world. Once again, thank you so much for accepting our invitation and joining us for this webinar on MTVET for TVET development. In today's webinar, our speaker will share about the need of TVET and how MTVET graduates can contribute nationally as well as internationally. Similarly, we will also listen to the experiences and stories of MTVET graduates as well as the scholar. So without further ado, I would like to invite our respected Professor Dr. Mahesh Nath Parajuli sir for the welcoming remarks. Professor Dr. Mahesh Nath Parajuli is the Dean of the Kathmandu University School of Education. He gained his PhD in education as Danish University of Education is in Copenhagen, Denmark. Since 2013, he is General Secretary of the Comparative Education Society of Nepal and a board member of the Comparative Education Society of Asia. He is the principal investigator of an international project, Lelam TVET for Income. So I would like to now request Dr. Professor Mahesh Nath Parajuli sir for the welcoming remarks. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Rujina. Thank you so much for inviting me in this session. So I'll be very quite brief because we are here to listen all the scholars. So first of all, let me welcome all participants here. As Ajay said, from different parts of the country. As I can see here, there is one from Bangladesh, and one fellow I am seeing here is Ramadan. I don't know from anyway. You are mostly from sure from Africa, but I don't know from which country. Maybe from Benin, because our Odjo is here. Anyway, welcome and all of the guests, our graduates, our MTVET graduates, and current students. You are most welcome to this program. So this program is one example how we promote our students in different activities. Although the speakers here are all the scholars, the whole program is being organized by our students. This is how we promote our students. Now, briefly, let me say here how Kathmandu University have been active in different activities to promote in this technical and vocational education in Nepal, and also through our study in many other countries. So this MTVET itself is one example of our activity. Apart from this, beginning this year, we are expanding our activities, our academic activities, by implementing a Bachelor in Technical Education. This program is particularly designed for preparing instructors in different fields of technical and vocational education. Although some of you know that BTech-8, our Bachelor in Technical Education, has been running since many years. Now we are expanding this program. Most probably, we will begin this program particularly for civil occupation sector. And one of speciality of this program, this Bachelor in Technical Education, is we are going to run this program not in Kathmandu, but in different other parts of the country. Maybe this year we'll begin Bachelor in Technical Education, Civil, in eastern part of the country. And gradually, our aim is to expand this Bachelor in Technical Education in 7 different provinces in the country. Of course, this might take some years. So this particular program, Bachelor in Technical Education, is intended for preparing instructors in different fields of technical education. And as many of you know, this MTVET, or Master in TVET, is of course the preparing education is also one very important aspect here. Our aim here is to prepare the competent professionals who could lead the whole TVET sector in the country and wherever they go and they work. So this is the one fundamental difference between our master's program. This focuses upon preparing the leaders, researchers, or instructional designers, planners, or something like who could lead and manage this particular program. So apart from this, there's 2 academic activities. One and the other activities as part of activity under this Lelam project. Lelam is, as Rujina already mentioned, linking education and labor market. So as many of us know, there has been a very a challenge, a problem in our countries, in many of our countries, that while the linkage between the education activities in TVET and the employment sector is somehow very problematic, and the linkage is not so strong. So we began this project with the questioning, how could we link these two important areas, employment sector and the education sector, so that together we could contribute to the national development process. As part of this project, we have already conducted some research activities, and we'll also be conducting some further research activities. In 2 years to come, we are planning to carry out 6 different research activities, or actually 7 different research activities. And I'm happy to say here that in the coming years, that in 2 years, that we are going to implement these 7 different research activities. Many of you students will, one way or in other way, will be taking part in research activities that we'll be carrying out. So this is again, apart from what you learn in classroom or what you learn by visiting different fields, you will also be, of course, I cannot say that each one of you, all of you students will be involved in these different research projects, or some of you will definitely involved. So you will get hands-on practical knowledge by participating in different research activities. So with this, let me welcome all participants now, and particularly let me thanks all those who worked a lot and also who worked hard in realizing this session today. And thank you so much for all the experts, all scholars, debate scholars who have agreed to make the presentation here. Okay, thank you, Rujina.
Thank you so much, sir, for your warm welcome and sharing us about the course's outline, and also briefing the academic activities of the MTVET programs. And I feel also lucky to be part of this MTVET course. This is one of the best decisions I have made. I have seen myself grown in these 2 years. I've been grown personally because of this course. So I'm so lucky to be part of this program. Thank you so much, sir. So moving on, now I would like to move to our very first presentation from our key speaker. So the first presentation will be of Usha Bhandari ma'am. Dr. Usha Bhandari ma'am is a senior program officer at Swiss Agency for Development and Cooperation in Nepal, and manages the technical and vocational education and training portfolio. She is visiting faculty at Kathmandu University School of Education. Dr. Bhandari has more than 25 years of rich experience of working in education sector, particularly in TVET, at the capacity of TVET portfolio manager in SCC. He has been involved in the TVET sector reform in Nepal through her contribution in the design and management of relevant system building TVET program and projects. So prior joining SCC, Dr. Bhandari was working as a senior faculty member in Training Institute for Technical Institution, TITI-CTVT. In this position, she was involved in designing and developing training programs in TVET sector in and around the issues of technical training techniques, curriculum development, monitoring, evaluation in TVET, and so on. So Dr. Bhandari is consistently contributing in the TVET sector reform in Nepal and has been sharing her experiences in several countries in abroad. She holds a PhD in education, and her study was on the social inclusion in TVET sector in Nepal. So now I would like to welcome Dr. Usha Bhandari ma'am for her presentation. Thank you, sir. And I would also like to request everyone to please mute yourself when you are not sharing anything. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rujina. Thank you, Odjo, for presenting my slides. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon and namaste. Today, I'm presenting Masters in Technical and Vocational Education and Training, MTVET for TVET development. So that is the theme of today's presentation. I might take about 6 to 7 minutes for my presentations. Then if you have any questions, so I will allow you to ask questions as well. I'm sure that that is fine, right, Odjo? So
Yes,
this
ma'am.
is
Yes, ma'am.
so
After
this
the
is my
presentation, we'll
okay, good. Thank you so much. So this is the overview of my presentation. So I will be basically covering 4 agendas today. I thought I should begin with what is the meaning of TVET first, Technical and Vocational Education and Training, but what it is really. So I would like to start with that agenda first. Then I will talk about TVET in developing countries. Of course, TVET is worldwide. It is available worldwide, but I will basically focus on TVET in developing countries. Then I will touch upon why MTVET is important, especially in the countries like us, I mean developing countries. Then I will touch upon the informations that who will benefit from TVET. So let's begin with what is TVET. Many times people are confused. People think that TVET is for second graded people actually. People those who cannot climb the education ladder, which is wrong. That is what I want to prove from this slide. TVET is a core education actually. It includes education and training both, and which provides knowledge and skills for employment. It prepares people for employment. It includes work-based learning or industry-based learning. That means students receive opportunities to learn being in the real world of work, being in the industry. Of course, TVET is also offered in institution-based institutions. That means it also has institution-based programs. If I take the example of work-based learning, then apprenticeship, dual-bed apprenticeship, on-the-job training, these are the examples. If I take the example of institution-based courses, then there are many trainings happens inside the buildings, inside the institution. So those are institution-based programs. So it is both work-based learning, institution-based both. TVET can take place at secondary, post-secondary, and also tertiary levels. Here I want to make things clear that TVET is not the mere skills training only, which is of 3 months, 4 months, 1 month, 1 week. Actually, it happens at secondary level. It happens at post-secondary level. It happens at tertiary level. You can acquire PhD in TVET. So that is the value of TVET. So it is TVET actually. It includes wide range of skills development opportunities for sure. It is a part of a lifelong learning process. You can start at any point if you are really, aspiring to get TVET knowledge and skills. It can be formal, it can be non-formal, it can be informal actually. If I take the example of formal, non-formal, and informal. Formal is that you receive those trainings at any level, as I said, secondary, post-secondary, tertiary level, and at the end of the training, end of the TVET courses or programs, you receive a certificate, which are recognized certificates. After that certificates, you have the opportunity to climb the ladder in a vertical line, or you can go to any other directions in a horizontal line. Okay, so that's the formal. It is like class 12, 13, 15, 14, 15. I mean to say, you can have the upward climbing opportunity, also horizontal. Non-formal courses are those courses which you get, in your day-to-day lifetime. Actually, you learn every time. I'm learning from you, you are learning from me. I'm learning at my home, I'm learning at my institutions. I may learn I learn things when I'm at work also. And informal trainings are, informal TVET are those types of trainings and education opportunities which happens actually, in a short period of time. Normally, if I compare it with the formal, you may not receive a certificate, okay? You may not have a certificate. However, now the worldwide, the practice is that even for the informal trainings, these are recognized through the recognition of prior learning procedure. So if I say that in informal learning, you will not get certificate, it will be wrong. If you get certificate, of course, in informal learning also. So that's the shift actually. That's the changes nowadays, okay? But if I take the traditional definition, so you may not get certificates or you may not get, the recognition in informal, but now this practice is already changed. So that is why overall TVET lead to qualifications, whether it is formal, whether it is informal, whether it is non-formal. Non-formal learnings also are nowadays recognized through recognition of prior learning. So that is why it can be formal, non-formal, informal, but TVET lead to qualifications. Okay, so this is what the TVET is. So TVET is not the inferior to general education. That is what I want to establish here. Okay, TVET is at par with the general education. Next slide, please. Now, what is happening in developing countries in TVET then? What is TVET? What TVET means for developing countries? Obviously, it is a driving force for socioeconomic development. If you have a trained human resources, those human resources definitely will contribute to economic growth and development of country. So I don't have to explain much here actually, if you are economically potential, if you are economically good, definitely you will have a better social image, better social perspective. Unfortunately, fortunately, there are plenty of money available from government and from development partners, also from private sectors in developing countries, in TVET sector, because it is a darling. It is a darling agenda in every developing countries, not only in Nepal or in Benin or in Bangladesh. So there are huge amount of money allocated for TVET projects and programs. And there are a variety of projects and activities going on. Hundreds of training institutions are there and mushrooming of training institutions, private and public. So it looks like that there are many, many training opportunities for people. Unfortunately, no adequate job. So what is happening? So that's the question we have to ask to ourselves. There are many policies, strategies, targets, whatever. Everything is there, but less achievement. Unfortunately, although people go for a TVET courses and programs, but they end up with low social image. So they lose. So they are really on a disappointment and despair. So in many developing countries, people tend to leave country to abroad for better opportunities. So that is the things happening. However, there are many good things also, okay? Because the scenario which I have presented here is that there are certain reasons behind, but you have to focus on the first point. It is a driving force for socioeconomic development. So why TVET in developing country is not flourishing? What is happening? So there are certain reasons actually. There are several reasons behind. So Odjo, next slide please. So there are several reasons behind. And one of those reasons is that there is no uniform understanding among the TVET leaders and policymakers. And, that even for those definitions, sometimes we are very much confused. Maybe we understand, of course, textbooks or researches or practices around the world are different. So, but what happens is that every country, they have to have a common understanding. But the reasons why TVET is not flourishing in developing countries that it is because of lack of uniform understanding among the TVET leaders and policymakers. As well as there are not many academic leaders in the TVET field. This is the lacking actually in developing countries. There are not many experienced practitioners as well. If we count that thousands of people work in TVET system. However, if we really count as a real, true practitioners, there are not many practitioners, doing administrative work, being in the TVET system does not qualify you to become an experienced practitioner. So that is what I am pointing out here. There are not many TVET researchers. Of course, research divisions exist in many ministries, many institutions, but not necessarily people are working as a TVET researchers. There are not many TVET planners. So there are not many. That is why I have lack of dash. So there are several things that because of, several lacking because of which TVET is not very much flourishing in developing countries. So what is the solution then? Before I say that MTVET is the solution, I would like to refer to this quotation from George Bernard Shaw. A lack of knowledge creates fear, but seeking knowledge creates courage. So there is a solution, and this Masters in Technical and Vocational Education and Training, MTVET, is the solution. Okay, so why I am saying that it is the solution, and I have a logic, I have a reason. So why MTVET? First, I just wanted to refer to what Professor Parajuli said. This is unique program. This is the first kind of program even in an Asiatic region. So this program is very, very unique. The design is unique. It is interdisciplinary program. It includes sociology, it includes economics, financing, it includes core education topics. It includes statistics, it includes researches. So there are many there are several topics, so that is why it is interdisciplinary, it is multidisciplinary, and all the learnings which happens in MTVET are based on scientific principle. It focuses on analyzing TVET issues, it focuses on developing methodological competencies among the students, among the graduates actually, and it brings learners closer to the real world. It brings learners closer to the real world. The MTVET programs provides learner to go to the field actually, go to the real world, do your hands dirty by yourself, involve in the research, involve in practical opportunities, do your assignments yourself. So you have lots of readings and you have lots of practical opportunities. So practical learning opportunities, you have experience and learning opportunities. So this program is really unique. So who benefits then? The first of the beneficiary is obviously MTVET graduates. So these MTVET graduates will gain advanced knowledge in TVET discipline and skills to lead and manage TVET institutions and programs. And I'm really happy to see all of you today actually who have already received this course. The earlier students, the current one, and I'm sure that there are potential students as well. So you will get advanced knowledge in TVET discipline and skills, and you will be able to lead and manage TVET institutions and programs. You will develop a culture of thinking, innovating, networking, valuing others, creativity, so many. And definitely the MTVET graduates will gain understanding and cross-cutting themes on TVET, such as gender, inclusion, labor relations, information technology, many more actually. So this is really beneficial for MTVET graduates. Then what happened if you learn all those things? MTVET graduates will be able to interpret and interplay between social institutions, work and occupations. Actually, they are not the dumb learners. They know that. They know why things happen, why this particular issue needs to be considered in TVET, why this policy is important, why this institution should work in this way, why financing should be done in TVET in this way, why curricula has to be designed. So it means there are logics actually, and they understand the interplay between social institutions, work and occupations. They will be able to conduct economic and financial analysis of TVET occupation. They will be able to develop TVET curricula, design and deliver instructional events, and evaluate the performance of TVET students. They will be able to design, carry out, manage and evaluate research on TVET. They will be able to carry out mentoring and professional development for TVET teachers and practitioners. They will be involved in policy dialogue and networking. They will be able to design, implement, monitor quality assurance in TVET sector. So it is a holistic. Actually, this MTVET provide holistic knowledge, skills, and attitude. So MTVET graduates at the end will be a person with multiple talent, multiple future opportunities. So ultimately, if there are very good graduates, means very good workforce for country, the country will have a TVET system leaders, educators and planners. And country will have a TVET professionals, specialists, curriculum developers, researchers, assessors, financing expert, policy makers, many more. So, and the country will be able to address human resource needs of country, and definitely it will promote excellence and opportunities in TVET sector. So we can proudly say that now our nation's TVET sector is in a reform, in a progressive way. So that is what the MTVET is for actually. So MTVET definitely for the TVET development of the country. So I would like to request all of you to consider this fact that it is for TVET development. And if there are any potential learners, I would really like to welcome you, and I promise that this will really benefit you. And if there are planners, policymakers, I really encourage and request all of you to consider this fact. MTVET is for TVET development. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your insightful presentation. You made all of us clear, and everyone who is the participants here made it clear how it is different, how TVET is different from the general education, and shared the understanding of formal, informal, and non-formal education as well, and the importance of TVET in mostly in the developing countries, how it is important in countries like Nepal, Benin, other African countries, Bangladesh, Bhutan, and also have shown that where we are lacking and what is the importance of this MTVET course and how we can contribute as a MTVET graduates for the development of this TVET sector and our nation as a whole. Thank you so much for this insightful presentation, ma'am. So we have one question here, but I think this question has been already addressed in the presentation itself. So I would like to request everyone, if you have any question for this presentation, you can please let us know. I think we don't have any question. So moving on, now we have our next presentation from our key speaker, Dr. Hari Prasad Lamsal, sir. Dr. Hari Prasad Lamsal, he holds a PhD in education. He heads TVET division, which is responsible for overall coordination, quality assurance, and governance of TVET system in Nepal. He previously served as the ministry's spokesperson and has a long-standing contribution to reforming Nepal's education system. So now let's welcome our Joint Secretary of the TVET Division at the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology of Nepal for his sharing. Dr. Hari Prasad Lamsal, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Rujina. Thank you, Dean sir and other scholars and faculties of Kathmandu University School of Education, Dr. Usha, and colleagues. Basically, we do have colleagues from both in-country and abroad. If in-country colleagues, we all probably we know, and there are few colleagues I have seen. And Ramadan, am I correct? Correctly pronounce your name? Muhammad Sojun, and there could be other colleagues as well. And Odjo is a Nepali, mostly Nepali. He became because he looks like Nepali even. So I'm joking also. Thank you very much. Thank you for this webinar. Thank you for this organization. And till now, I'm sure that you have proved your abilities because you all are my student as well. So your preparation and your follow-up and your deliberation today is quite good. I'm fully satisfied the way you are managing and organizing. And you have made several follow-up mails. I know Odjo, if I was under the water, probably Odjo will follow me, catch me, even in water. And thank you. I mean, we should do, in order to happen something else, we should make a such follow-up. Otherwise, the task will not be accomplished. You know, people are busy here and there. Just what we are thinking in government system, public system, we are just sending a letter to them and we will not make a follow-up whether they have received or not. We should give a follow-up call. We should give a follow-up, maybe email. We should confirm it. This is not only for webinar. This should be for your work, which I'm sure that you will going to be a good manager and leader in the days to come. And I must thank Kathmandu University also for providing opportunity to students, MTVET students, basically to carry out such event. I mean, this is a real world exercise. Whatever we have done in the classroom, this was not the real one. I mean, the webinar, you are organizing it, you will learn, you will get the feedback, and you will get a chance to develop yourself, and you will get a chance to improve it as well. Dr. Usha has already talked much about TVET. What is TVET and what are the issues and challenges and what are the solutions as well. But I don't think so. I need to repeat the same thing. Sorry, I do not have any presentation, but Dr. Usha clearly pointed out different types of TVET in Nepal. Let me talk in the context of Nepal. TVET in Nepal is generally categorized into 4 different headings. The first one is short-term training, short-term skill development part. The second one is pre-diploma course, which is earlier it was equivalent to the school education. Now school education is being bit upgraded. And before this time, we had secondary education and higher secondary education. And secondary education was called as a school education, and higher secondary education was named as a sort of bridge between the school education and university education. It was considered as a downward extension of the higher education at that time. In the 8th Amendment in Education Act, that converted grade 12 as a secondary education. So our school examination is shifted to grade 12. Earlier it was in grade 10. But in TVET, we do have grade 10 or equivalent system here. We call it pre-diploma. Now the new name, earlier it was called technical school. Then of course, diploma equivalent to school education and higher education. The 4 types informal, this is a formal system that includes the 4 types of skill development program in Nepal. But in non-formal and informal, there are several activities. I have seen a question in a chat box. How do you distinguish the formal, non-formal and informal? I mean, the indigenous practices are skills are transferred from generation to generations in their household or in their one territory. That made named as an informal one. Non-formal is a sort of bit less organized, less formalized in between the informal and formal. So these 4 types of skill development activities are in Nepal, but they are highly fragmented, which Dr. Usha has already highlighted the issues. Let me talk few issues in TVET in Nepal, especially the fragmentations are there. Several ministries are being involved to design and implement the TVET program in Nepal. Several ministries are there. Provincial governments are there. Local governments are there. They all are working for the TVET, either one or another way. But still, the fragmentation is high. Then it is less developed in the sense that our focus is only for quantity, number. Our focus is only for expansion. The government has declared a policy. Every local palikas, municipalities, will have at least 1 technical school. I mean, this is just a number. I know that in the beginning stage of development, the number does matters, but the focus in number means that the quality aspects and relevancy, appropriateness, and all other things and linking it with the production might be sometimes in shadow. there are less funding and fragmentation, focus on number and access, meaning that less coordination between the employment, which our Dean Sir has already highlighted, linkage between the education, TVET, and employment, labor. I mean, this is industry, private sector, let's say that, private entrepreneur. So the government has done something else, but this is not enough. From the university side, and Kathmandu University has come up with this new course with a view to develop the human resources for the TVET sector. We do have pure technical graduates, and we do have graduates from general education, and we do have graduates from technical higher education. Till now, the TVET is being run by the graduates of technical higher educations. So this is the new course, MTVET, and we are seeking new graduates will be available in the market, and they will be able to run, manage the technical schools, technical programs, and technical institutions from the different levels of government. So this part, the first effort of Kathmandu University, we should thank, and we all are working in order to produce the best graduates, although the number is not quite enough, but this is beginning. And so we need to work to develop the TVET in Nepal, and probably it could be in other country as well. So my question is that the graduates from Kathmandu University will be in the market, and they will lead the organization, institutes, and program, and some changes will be changes will be seen in the system. I know this Gideon's notion of agency versus structure debate. I mean, there are debates. How can we bring the change? I mean, an individual is enough to bring the change, but sometimes agency is more powerful than individual, and they can shape the structure, they can shape the organizations, they can shape the policies. So another side, the debate is about structure is more powerful. In order to bring the changes, we need to hit in the structure. We are very much hopeful that our graduates will be able to demonstrate some results in the market, and the goal of the TVET will be, which is taken by the country, Nepal, will be achieved. And these are the government efforts and some findings. Then the issue is, how can we develop trust between the industry and TVET system? I mean, there is not big trust. I mean, there are some confusion. In the market, we have a job, but we do not have people, the skills relevant to that job. But we have graduates which are still unemployed in the market. Then this is the big threat to the education system. How can we match the demand of the market and supply from the graduates? So in order to do this, we need to make it more practical, more company-based, and like an apprenticeship model. And I hope that other colleagues will also add on it. By saying so, I do have three concerns in the chat box. Then let me talk right now. The career guidance available for students of tertiary education. We do not have career guidelines, career guidance counseling in Switzerland, like in Switzerland. We have started in the TVET from the support of SDC. Dr. Bhandari is here, can add more on it. But in higher education, in mostly in private colleges, they have some sort of counseling, but we do not have a especially designated counselor in our higher education institutions. But formally or informally, things are going on. And informal counseling could be more, but informal structure, we do have less. And then Ramadan, another question is about, are there any opportunities for other countries to make collaboration with Nepal, TVET in terms of teacher professional development? Let's see, there are two types, Ramadan. Universities can collaborate themselves. University in Nepal has the mandate by law. They can establish memorandum of understanding with other universities, with other institutes, as in, if university likes or she limit. But there are some ways from the government side, but this is, we have to follow the more long route bureaucratic model, meaning that we need to engage Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, then have joint meeting. Then from government side also, government institution can also do it, but you have to move, you have to cross the long route for that. But from university side, they are autonomous to do it. Like we do have apex body of TVET, this CTT, they can also carry out the such memorandum of understanding collaborations with international agencies or organizations. By saying so, if there are other questions, I will also be available during your webinar. Until now, Rujina, back to you. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, and I will be available if there are some concerns, and I will be with you for another 1 hour 10 minutes. Right? This is, you are planning up to the 7 p.m. Right?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you
So much, sir, for your valuable sharing on this topic, which was very, very important, because especially making it clear about the roles and responsibilities of governance and the TVET bodies. And you also highlighted on the different TVET policies and the government efforts, the quality aspects, the funding and fragmentations in the context of Nepal TVET, and how the TVET sector has been managing till now, who are handling all these policies and designing and development of the TVET policies. So you also make it clear that how the MTVET graduates can make the contribution to develop and design this kind of TVET policy to bring change in the society and make it more practical. So thank you so much, sir, for your sharing, and thank you for addressing all the questions in the chat box. And if you have any more queries, please, you can ask now. If anyone have any queries, you can ask now, or we can move on to the next session. Okay, I think we don't have any more questions. So let's continue with the next part of this program, where we will be doing the sharing session. We will be doing the sharing of MTVET graduates and the MTVET scholars, their journey, their experiences. So first, we would like to welcome to share her experience, Ms. Sunila Baniya. She is an MTVET alumna. She holds a bachelor degree in business and a master degree in sociology. She works in many organizations as a team leader, program manager, vocational skill development officer, and more. She joined the MTVET program in 2018 and completed it in 2020. So during the MTVET program, she got a promotion, and she is going to share her experience and how MTVET has been contributing to her job. So I would like to welcome Ms. Sunila Baniya for her sharing, and congratulations, Didi, for your graduation.
Thank you. Thank you, Rujina ji. Thank you so much. Namaste, good evening, good afternoon to all. You know my name, I'm Sunila Baniya, MTVET student of 2018, the first batch. I'm currently working as a coordinator for Skills Development in Civil Migration Project, SAMI Helvetas. I would like to thank Kathmandu University School of Education for inviting me to speak about my experiences in MTVET course. So I would like to start from my motivation to join the sector and then share my experiences during and after the course. Back in 2007, I used to work in wash sector, water and sanitation sector. On one event, I was educating the Musar community in Birganj about the importance of washing hands and using latrines. A lady came up to me and said, like, we know the importance of washing hands, but how can we afford soap when we do not have enough to eat? Instead of teaching us to wash hands, teach us how to earn money so that we can buy soap. Like her words opened my eyes to the type of work that I should be or I could be doing to make like an even more meaningful difference in the lives of disadvantaged people in Nepal. A few years later, one of my friends offered me a job. The job description was related to skills training and employment linkage, which was exactly the work I was looking for. Skills teaches people to fish, which in turn helps them to feed for a lifetime. Even SDG 2030 mentions it in Goal 4 and 8. So I worked very hard to understand about this sector as it was new to me. At this point of time, I knew only skills training, which I now realize is a tiny portion of TVET. Nevertheless, I the work I was doing several times persistently and finally got the job. After a year in SAMI, a colleague with a technical background asked me, "You being a non-technical person, how did you get the job in the sector?" I mean, like, this was the most embarrassing and painful moment of my career, but it made me realize the need to expand my knowledge if I am to survive in doing the work I love. I didn't know that everybody working in this field should have a technical background like electrical, electronics, construction, etc. I began asking myself questions like, what can I do to make up for my lack of prior technical experiences? I started exploring the TVET short courses, which was available in Australia, Philippines, but that was too expensive for me to afford. And in 2019, a year after that incident, I came to know about launching of MTVET course at KUSOED through Facebook. I didn't know whether I'm eligible to apply as I didn't have technical background. I looked at the eligibility criteria. To my surprise, it was mentioned to be in any discipline. I was relieved to know that TVET was not just for the people with prior technical expertise. It is also for those who want to make some change in the lives of the youth, disadvantaged people. So I applied, gave entrance exam, and got enrolled without a second thought. I found MTVET course to have covered almost all the aspects that an individual would require to become a successful TVET professional. And being a student of first batch came with its own challenge, such as not knowing what to expect from the course and not having seniors to guide us, etc. And we felt we have the responsibility to make the program a success, as well as the need to accomplish both academically and professionally. I enjoyed learning all the subjects because I had thirst for knowledge in TVET, and I'm glad to have completed my thesis on the use of acquired skill by the returning labor migrants in the home country, a survey in Nepal, which is very relevant in today's context when people are returning home because of COVID crisis. I love the teaching and learning approach of KU. All the subjects required lots of study, self-study, and exploration. I could use extensive resources at KUSOED. If you ask me about my favorite subject, then I would say psychology of learning and research, because one helps to understand the capacity of learners, which we often ignore during the training, and the other generates evidence for policy development as well as to design a program. I was lucky to be able to attend face-to-face class, which means lots of interaction with faculty and colleagues. For me, balancing time between full-time work and study was pretty difficult. My job demanded a lot of time, and at the same time, MTVET course also required lots of commitment. Thanks to Dean sir and the faculty members who guided, supported, and motivated us to achieve our goal. So what I gained from this course? Well, with this course, I was able to secure the position of coordinator through a tough recruitment competition between the technical persons. Now I'm able to bring the ideas that I could contribute to the program. My professional network has expanded since we had colleagues from government, non-government, private organizations. I had great opportunity learning from them. I developed a reading and reasoning habit, and most importantly, I gained confidence to speak about my work and TVET sector whenever required. The aspiring participants in this webinar must be anxious to know what you can be after completing this course. This course is designed to find different career pathways, whatever your professional aspirations may be. An instructional system designer, a curricula developer with an insight on trending new technologies, an M&A expert to assure quality of TVET education, a policymaker with an important role in shaping the TVET sector to start its own industry, training institutes to uplift the economy, the TVET researcher to produce evidence for the policy development, a TVET development worker who can pilot innovative programs so that the government can replicate to generate employment for underemployed and unemployed citizens. If you want to know more what you can be or what you want to be with this course, you need to dive into it, and it's worth a try. Lastly, I would like to thank Dean Sir, the faculty members, Lilam Project, and all those who involved in designing this wonderful course. I would like to express my gratitude to Dr. Usha Bhandari, the only women faculty in TVET when I was studying, who has been my inspiration to join this course. Women in TVET is limited, so I urge more women and men, of course, to join MTVET and lead the sector. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sunila ji. Thank you so much for sharing your whole journey and your story, your success story to us, and your contribution to TVET till now. And we are really grateful to get a senior like you. You are very supportive. You have supported us even while during our college days. So thank you for being there for us. You shared that how even after not being in a technical background, you get to join this MTVET and you get to live your dream to serve the disadvantaged poor people. So it is like really great because this MTVET doesn't have any criteria that you have to fulfill. This is the any criteria or the thing that you need to enter to this MTVET course. You can, even if you have any background, any educational background, you can join this program. So you can live your dream. What are you thinking of to get into the TVET development? So thank you so much for sharing. So now, without further delay, I would like to welcome our next presenter, Mr. Cosme Zinsou. He is an MTVET scholar from Benin, West Africa. He holds a master's degree in English language educations, and he has taught the English language in primary and secondary school in Benin before joining this MTVET program. So currently he's working as an intern at Ensure, a project under Helvetas Swiss Intercooperation Nepal. And today he's going to share his MTVET experiences and how he intends to contribute to his country's TVET system after his graduation. So I would like to welcome Mr. Cosme Zinsou for his presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rujina ji. I'm not going to talk that much because my sharing is about my MTVET journey, how I joined this program, and in the future, how I can contribute to Benin TVET system. So this is the 4 key points I'm going to highlight in my presentation. The first one is regarding my MTVET journey. So how I joined this MTVET program. The first thing is in Benin, because my journey started from Benin, which is located in West Africa. And this program, before I get to know and to join the program, it was in 2018. I'm so happy that Usama is present in this webinar. And Usama with some MTVET leaders, specifically Lelam TVET for income projects from the different countries which are involved in the projects. They organized, there was a public conference in Benin. So during that public conference, Professor Ursula Renaud, who is the manager of this Lilam project, she gave a presentation, and that presentation was on linking education with labor markets. And from that moment, I got to know how each country should connect the education and the labor market demand. The next presenter in this conference was Usama. She is also present in this webinar, and thank you so much. She talked about this MTVET program in Benin. This conference was in Benin in our Central University of Abomey-Calavi. And I was so excited. So how can I join this program? I was really excited, and I joined Usama, and I asked her, how can I join the program? Then she guided me to Lilam project leaders of Benin. Then I get in touch with them, and with the information I received later, I sent my application. Then I got the admission in July 2019. When I got that admission, I just left Benin, and then I come to Nepal. When I come to Nepal, the first thing I discover is the Kathmandu University, because I just came on the orientation day. So I discover in Kathmandu University throughout this MTVET program, a good and adaptable learning environment. Because I got chance to work with my fellow students. They are supportive. As Sunila Didi has just mentioned earlier, they were the first batch, but we are the second batch. So we are lucky because we have chance to learn from our seniors. And teachers are also available and supportive. Whatever you have, whatever you want to know, any concern you have, you can approach them and they will be helping you. So I got that chance, and I really appreciate it from Kathmandu University. The overall MTVET program helped to connect also the classroom learning with the industry and the field visit. What we have learned in classroom, we go to the fields, industries, to see how things are running. The previous speakers have already mentioned that we have a lot of people working in TVET, but they are not experts. So with the classroom learning, when we visit them, we can identify some mismatch in their work, in their job. So how we can contribute, we proceed in that way. We conduct also different activities. We have chance to visit many industries during this program, and it was very interesting. But the one thing which really caught my attention, and I can't forget that, is the rapid adaptation of Kathmandu University to COVID-19 pandemic. You know, when that situation happened, no country was behind that. Everyone, we were suffering for that. And when it happened that government has declared lockdown in Nepal in 2020, we were desperate. What will happen? So our program will stop or what? And I was wondering, do I have to find a way to go back to Benin or what? Then the university said, no ways, there will be solution. So in Nepal, Kathmandu University School of Education was the first one which started online classes. And it was also my first experience in online classes. I have never got that chance. So during that online classes since 2020 till now, we also receive internet data back from the university. How nice it is. So how can we imagine that university provide us a chance to learn from online context and also provide internet data? This is not available everywhere. So after going throughout this all MTVET program, what can be my career in the future? So there are many opportunities, but from my side, I'm thinking about how I can be, my objective is to become a TVET specialist. So being TVET specialist, I will be helping in many ways. I can also work as a researcher and program coordinator, project coordinator or manager. I can also work as a human resource manager and many more, entrepreneur, all those things. So there are many opportunities you can get from this MTVET program. And just to, because I can't speak without giving you some proof, I want to share just some job opportunities with you. The first one is from UNDP, which just in 2018 asked for one TVET specialist. So when you see the requirement, they talk about master in education, but in some preferences, they want to have people from TVET sector. So that means getting this MTVET degree will give you many opportunities and chances to go to get a job. The next one is regarding national TVET expert. And you can see this is still ongoing, not the application is still open for those who, unfortunately, we have not completed, but those who have completed can apply for these job opportunities. And it is specifically for Africa, West Africa, and some countries. So when you look at the requirement, it has been said that you need to have some background in labor market analysis and all those things. So when I look back to what we gain from this MTVET program, I think that if today they are asking for master in education, experiences in TVET sector, when tomorrow there will be many graduates in MTVET program, the international and national organization will start asking about master, not master in education, but they will be specifically focused on master in technical and vocational education and training. So after all this, how can I contribute with what I gain from this MTVET program? The main thing I can do is participate or contribute to the renovation and the improvement of Benin TVET system. So from that, I can help in career counseling, planning, implementation, monitoring, evaluating TVET program and institution. The next thing I can also do is helping in developing quality assurance and employability policies with what I gain from my different facilitator faculties. I can also help in establishing innovative TVET financing method because right now most of our TVET program is supported by private and public organizations, but we have also development partners. And this is very interesting to think about innovative financing method. The next thing I can do is contribute to the training and skill development of different TVET actors. And I can also help in work-based learning updates and labor market analysis. And finally, I can help in research way in TVET in Benin. So there are many things I can do. This webinar only can be sufficient to talk about and to say all those things. So this is what I can say. Thank you so much for your attention. If you have any question regarding my sharing, feel free to ask. We will be talking about that. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Odjo. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. Being an international student, it must have been difficult for you being so far from home, but whatever you have learned so far in this 2 years will really help you in your future. This MTVET degree will help you to excel your future career. So also because of this virtual classes, which is organized by MTVET KUSOED, it will be more beneficial for more international students. They can also join us without having any difficulty. So that was really good sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. I think you have some question also in the chat box. If you want to address those.
Yeah. Ramadan, thank you so much for your question. just briefly say there is one opportunity for you to leave your continent and go abroad to study. So my experience in Nepal was a very good experience, and I'm almost at the end of my stay, and I always asking myself, am I going to leave Nepal or not? So it is very interesting to have this chance to study in Kathmandu University. So my advice is people now can join this MTVET program. We are lucky that there is online also possibility to join this MTVET program. And very soon when the situation will allow, there will also be face-to-face classes. But till now, there is no worries. You can join this program. You will get support from us as a graduate, let's say upcoming graduate, and we will be supporting each other. And I will really love to see other Africans in MTVET because we will have chance to create a network. As you asked previously, we can have partnership from different perspectives. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Odjo. So moving on to the next presentation, we have Mr. Man Bahadur Sirpali ji, who is our MTVET scholars at Kathmandu University School of Education, and he completed a master degree in international cooperation and development. He has 12 years of professional experience in different NGOs and INGOs, as well as in UN. He completed his master degree in international cooperation and development. And currently, Mr. Man Bahadur Sirpali ji is advocacy manager for Skill Up program, basically leading resilient TVET in Welt Hunger High Life organization. So he's going to talk about how to build resilient TVET with us. So I would like to welcome Mr. Man Bahadur Sirpali for his presentation. Thank you so much. Can you please turn on your mic, Manji?
Rujina ji, thank you so much for this opportunity. Respected Dean sir, respected professors and faculties, and then also my colleagues. So I'm also one of the MTVET scholar of 2019 batch. And then obviously, as earlier colleagues mentioned, that it has also supported me to build my career. Particularly, I was also able to lead one of the projects. Particularly, it is about Skill Up program. It has been implementing in 8 countries. So basically, I'm working on to build a resilient TVET in 8 countries, providing some technical support to the partner colleagues. So today I'm going to talk about how we can build the resilient TVET. Moving forward, basically my overview of the presentation would be explaining about the resilient TVET, and second is about what are the challenges, and third I want to express some my experiences as a pathways to resilient TVET. Let's begin with the what is resilient, and then I would also connect this issue with the TVET. So there are different agencies working in TVET sector, as already colleagues have been highlighted that some of the organizations talking about the TVET should be like such a instrument to increase our employability. But for that reason also, we have our TVET system should be have a such a ability of it is about an ability of an individual, household, community, or country or region to withstand, adapt, and quickly recover from the stresses and shocks. It is a definitions of communication, EU communication on resilience. There are variety of definitions we can find, but basically it talks about if we take an example of this pandemic COVID-19, we can have some examples that there is a strong linkage between Tibet and a community's ability to scope the such a disaster or conflict in whatever context we are been uh, located. So when disaster hits and a conflict erupts, most of the Tibet institutes remain closed. But when, as an example, when we mainstream our DRR and conflict in Tibet, like an example, we could able to even get education through virtual programs in the past months. So technology is one of the integral part of Tibet. So it is technology is kind of we can compare with water and fish. So, but it is not easy to say something, but doing is much more difficult. So there are also some challenges I have observed in my experience working in the multi-country. So the challenges are basically related with the lack of, or if there is Tibet institution, they have inadequate occupational health and safety during the training programs. Another challenge I have observed is there is a lack of, or if there is, but there is a limited access to digital tools, equipments to run the such a virtual programs. And also it requires a lot of internet infrastructure, but we are not prepared to have such internet infrastructures. There is also limited online educational resources, uh, particularly there it requires a lot of online tools. And there is also found that the lack of Tibet appropriate distance learning setup to deliver the different programs. Another challenge I have observed is our teachers and instructors, they don't have adequate capacity to run such a virtual programs, to use the different technologies. Also, in another side, if we see the demand side, the learners should have also some digital skills. And another challenge is conducting on practical trainings, particularly debate training. It requires some physical presence. Let's suppose that plumber training, we require some equipments at the field. So there requires different setup, and for that we are not prepared, and it also requires some time to move forward the virtual learning mode. Also, we don't have adequate prior experience in delivering such a virtual trainings. So this is something very much new avenues we had got as an opportunity as well. Finally, the challenges also requires there are multiple countries, they are advocating on that we need some policies and guidelines. Without this, how we can run these programs? So, but if we look at the challenges, if we carefully convert these challenges into opportunity, there is some pathways to build the resilient Tibet. So how we can do it? There are some 9 steps. The first step is we have to conduct assessment research on real-time disaster when like this pandemic or conflict happens. We have to have such a data, so we can have some benchmark data. So based upon that, we can mainstream further DRR and conflict in planning and budgeting process. So we also need to adopt some comprehensive school safety programs. It is one of the global framework that can be applicable for any other education systems, even though it is also related with the, it can be replicated with the general education too, but we can also customize this framework, reforming our curriculum and textbooks. Fifth step is about improving all students equitable and safe access to Tibet, because there is diversity, different people like people with disability, people with different accent and diversity, they also require some such a access to Tibet. So we have to have such a different technological access to those students. And then rolling out all these programs, we have to monitor and evaluate this process for reducing disaster risk reduction. And then also it is in context of conflict, we can monitor the situations. And seventh step is we have to reinforce our coordination and network mechanisms with the government, private sectors, and then civil society organizations. And eighth step is about strengthening our TVET governance, and we have to also make ensure the participation of local communities so that our program can be better, access, and it can be accepted by the larger audience. And students like me can have both opportunities, like working in office, NGO, and then in the meeting hall after 4 or 5 o'clock, you can also join this program. So finally, we have to boost up the capacity development of different actors engaged in the disaster risk reduction and the conflict resolution program. So basically, these are the 9 steps I would like to give you as an example that I have done in my project in 8 countries. And basically, the ingredients of making this happen are uh, my experiences. Best option is to have face-to-face training, but at the same time, we also need to have occupational health and safety and then other precautionary measures so that we can have it. Otherwise, we cannot do it. And second ingredients is, if there is no face-to-face training program, then we have to have such a virtual programs, but we have to have such a different online tools and technologies like internet infrastructures and high speed internet and all those things. And finally, these distance learning opportunities are also there. We can have this from YouTube, television, Google Meet, Zoom, radio, podcast, other social medias, and etc. So these both opportunities can be better blended as a learning approach for the disaster and conflict situation also. So these are the basically my experience. I have gone through this project, and also I got this opportunity to learn and increase my horizon from MTVET course. So I would like to encourage all my colleagues, friends. You can also join this program. Although I have already 2 more master's degrees, but I was very much keen to participate in this program, and I learned a lot. So I would like to also encourage you to join this program. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Manji, for sharing your wonderful experiences and also encouraging participants to join this MTVET program. So as we know that in this COVID situation, it is very important to build the resilience TVET. And you also highlighted on the need of strong linkage of technology and the TVET education. So also you highlighted on the different challenges and opportunities you have to face. So thank you so much for sharing, and also the various steps and pathways to the resilience TVET. So thank you so much for sharing your valuable experience with us. So moving on to our final presentation from our MTVET scholar, Mr. Bahadur Giri ji. So Raj Bahadur Giri ji, sorry. Raj Bahadur Giri ji is an MTVET scholar at KUSOED. He is a development expert who has worked in the TVET sector for over 20 years. He has worked on different projects, namely UNM, CARE, DENIS, UN, and USAID as a monitoring and evaluation expert. He completed his diploma in international leadership from Canada in 2007. He is the founder and executive director of the Kathmandu Training Center, which provides technical education in social mobilization. So Mr. Raj Bahadur Giri, sir, is going to explain how MTVET can help to run TVET institution effectively and efficiently. So I would like to welcome Mr. Raj Bahadur Giri. Over to you, Raj Bahadur, sir.
Thank you so much, Rujina ji, for inviting me for the presentation. Good evening, all our professors and faculties and my friends who are participating in this very wonderful occasion. Today, most of the TVET and MTVET course, those things already mentioned from the different presenters, but I just want to focus on how MTVET contribute to TVET sectors for development. This is my focused presentation. Thank you so much for all of you for welcome this wonderful evening. The background of this Masters in Technical Education and Vocational Training course is the declaration of the Nepal as the federal democratic country. We already known about the changing political scenario in our country. After that, the government of Nepal decided to establish 753 TVET institution in the different rural municipalities, the different local bodies. You already know. For that, all the institutes lacked competent leaders which lead the institutes. In order to address that problem and to produce competent leaders, MTVET program was first initiated at KUSOED in August 2018. So MTVET is the 2 years course. You already listened about this, the 4 semesters course. So what are the competencies of the MTVET graduates, especially focused on the enhance the indigenous knowledge and practices, especially if we talk about the technical education and vocational training, the informal skills or informal education is most important in our country. That's why if we focus on the ABCD approach, asset-based community development approach, I am also one of the advocate for the ABCD approach. That's helps and competencies as to need the MTVET graduates. Visionary leadership development for the TVET institution. If the institution have the great leader, then the overall institute will be perfect or produce very competent human resource. The competent in the performing the TVET activities. The most of the institutes are there but the some quality standards, the quality assurance is not edged. That's why the competencies of the MTVET graduates will be covered or fulfill the gap of that kind of the lacking process. Okay, what kind of the requirements of the TVET institutes? Qualified leaders to lead the institute. That is definitely, if the qualified leaders are there and they're willing and their readiness is the most important. That's why the the TVET institutions can be lead the very good quality graduates. So qualified. Updated curriculum to produce an skilled human resource. That is also one of the best requirement for the TVET institutes. The competent teachers to be able to cover the broader topics. If he or she have the overall understanding about the TVET sectors, that could be easier to understand and helps to enhancing the capacity to others or to TVET sectors people. So employees to the encourage the earning and learning strategy in the TVET systems. We already listened about the entrepreneurship skill. We already listened about the work-based learning approach. The learning and earning approach we can introduce in the TVET sectors. Those requirements here in TVET needs in TVET institutions. Quality assurance of the education provided. If the competent graduates of the TVET sectors and the TVET institutions list the very good or quality competent human resource, they will produce. The presentation theme is the contribution of the MTVET to the TVET institution. If I talk about myself as an example of the TVET sector's product, when I was in I want to proud to share my own experience and example. I started my technical education from when I was in the grade 7, and at that time I did just junior technical assistant TSLC. But I was able to continue my technical education in bachelor's in technical education, master's in technical education. I'm also interested to continue as a PhD scholars. Recently I joined the PhD in one university, so that the contribution of the MTVET to Tibet institutions, the increased productivity in the country by the competent human resource. The MTVET graduates are very competent in order to the subject matter and content wise, provides the employment opportunities in different 753. There are newly opened the institutions are there, and there are no the competent leader or principals in those institutions, and helps in the economic growth and the development through the competent graduates. The productivity is definitely high, and the national productivity will be enhanced. The proper mobilization of the natural resources. We know if we are really expert on the research, expert on the specialist on the Tibet sectors and technology, and at that time without the compromising the needs of the future generation, how can we sustain this program for the future's sustainability for the future generation also? So increases the employment opportunities inside the country, and discourage the brain drain. In our country, we already know the most of the youth are always brain drain. They are working in the abroad every day. That's why. So the contribution of the MTVET to the Tibet institutions, we will be the planner for the Tibet institution. We will be a researcher. We will be a leader. We will be a manager. We can contribute the different way. So MTVET course is very, very important to everyone who are really interested to join this course. I am happy to welcome those who are interested. I already did my master degrees for other things, but I am continue with the MTVET course now. I myself run my institution in Nepal, in Kathmandu Training Center. After MTVET course, really, how can I run the organization? How can I contribute to for the quality assurance or the monitoring evaluation, so this is the MTVET course is very, very important. I think I'm a last presenter. Thank you so much, the team and my friends listening my presentation. If there are any questions, please. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rajji, for sharing your whole experience as a TVET educator, as a part of a TVET sector. You have shared your whole 20 years of experience with us, being a TSLC student to tell the executive director of the training center. That was really a wonderful story, success story of yours. And moving on, if you have any questions regarding this, you can ask to him, or we are running out of time, so I think we will be moving on to the final session, Q&A session. I think who was trying to share before?
Rujina, Raksha.
Oh, okay. So we will be sharing the orientation of this program. After all this presentation, I think many of you, many of the participants will be interested to this program. So we have shared a little bit of the orientation of this program, how you can enroll in this program and what is the process. So Raksha will be sharing us. So Miss Raksha Acharya, she is an MTVET scholar at Kathmandu University School of Education. She joined MTVET just after completing her bachelor's degree in agriculture, and currently she is an intern at Ensure project under Helvetas Swiss Intercooperation Nepal. So since few days, the admission is open for the MTVET program. So Ms. Raksha Acharya is going to briefly orient about the enrollment process. Thank you so much. Over to you, Raksha.
Thank you so much, Rujina ji. Good evening, respected teachers, my dear friends, and everyone present here in this webinar. And thank you so much for participating in this webinar. Uh, by now, I hope everyone must have figured out what actually is MTVET course, and because the session has already informed about the essence of MTVET, right from the policy level to simply training, providing experience of the Tibet sector. So, if you are interested to join this amazing family of the MTVET course at KUSOED, then the admission for intake of 2021 batch has opened. And so I would like to briefly orient you on how to apply for this program. Since the COVID-19 pandemic is still on, and it is not safe to conduct the things physically, so the school has made provision to apply through online mode, and we can do this by visiting the website, KUSOED website.
Raksha, could you speak off? Your voice is very low.
Yes, sir. So this is the so you can see at the screen there is a KUSOED web page which is mentioned at the top of the page. Through this website, through this link, you can visit to the page of our Kathmandu University School of Education, and in this page you can see the online application link through which you can apply for the form. And if you go to that link, then you get this kind of page, and where you get all the details like what are required for your application, all the digital copies of your education certificates, of your citizenship certificates, your photos, and everything. And regarding for application, we also need to fill the bank voucher as a payment slip of the form. So
Yeah,
so
Raksha,
I
I
would
think
like
Yeah, your slide is not moving.
we are still in the first slide, so you have to move that.
I have already moved it, but
Some technical error. Okay, anyway.
Raksha, don't slow slide
Don't
mode. You can
don't put
directly.
in slide mode. This is internet problem.
okay then.
Yeah, don't put in slide mode.
Ajay, you can put all the details in the chat box as well.
Yeah,
Or the link,
Sure.
link of KUSOED
yeah,
and all
good.
this.
So for the bank details is given in this slide, the Nepal Investment Bank Limited. This is the account number, and for there are also other banks where you can pay the voucher for the voucher, and the details are given in the link given in this slide. And after that. After continuing with the slide, you will get this kind of tab where you can fill the form, and all these tabs are for filling the form right from the program option until the last one, which is thank you. So you need to fill up all the requirements given in this tabs one by one. And if you move to the program option, there is the selection of the program, and there you need to go and select to technical and vocational education and training. And similarly, for the next one, you need to attach the payment slip which you have paid for the voucher, or the bank slip for the form. And and for that you need to attach the voucher, your digital copy of that voucher. And similarly, after continuing, you need to go to general information and fill all the all your informations there. And also there you can see there is citizenship certificate. For that also you need to choose the file. So in this way, similarly, you need to go through all the tabs mentioned at the top, and with this you will also you will have to attach your education certificates and degrees, your employment certificates, and all the references which is required for the admission or application. So with this, you, going until the end, you will finish the application process. And this is all about application. And these are some of the basic information, like you need to submit the online form by 5th of July 2021. And once the form is submitted, you need to appear for the entrance test. So this due to this pandemic, the entrance test is also being held online, so which is on 11th of July 2021, 1 p.m. onwards. And after interview on 12th and 13th of July 2021, you will have interview, which is again online, and it is from 12 noon onwards. And if you are selected in interview, and if you pass all the requirements and pass the entrance test, then you will be called for orientation. You will get the mail from KUSOED administration. And there will be orientation, online orientation class in 5th of August 2021. The time is from 4:30 to 7:30. And the regular class will start from 6th of August 2021, and the time of class is always 4:30 to 7:30 p.m. And until the situation gets normal, the classes will be conducted online until the further notice. And for any further information, if you want to get any further information, you can visit our website, which can also be reached by scanning the QR code given in this slide. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Raksha. As we are running out of time today, it's been so long, so I would just want to request Muhammad Sojan, who wanted to share something about this webinar. So can I please request Muhammad Sojan for his sharing?
Mr. Muhammad. Yeah.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, please try to be brief so that we can close this session.
Yeah, so first of all, my name is Mohammad Sujon. I am the university teacher and also a PhD scholarship recipient. I'm going to start my PhD in Malaysia soon. And last few weeks ago, I worked with Dr. Suresh sir. He was also from Kathmandu University and the School of Education. Particularly, I have very keen interest in Nepal. I have so many Nepali friends. And for this event, what last 1.5 hours I was listening, it's very timely needed because there is a skill gap, and also for employment and also marketing the student in the and contributing them for in the economy and getting the employment. So I'm sure this course gonna help. And also I'm involved with different kind of skill-based training in Bangladesh and other country as well. If I can be of any help regarding this program as a resource person or any other way, I would love to help Kathmandu University for promoting this program. And on behalf of like what you have taken in Nepal for launching this event and program, I believe this program is needed not only in Nepal, but also other South Asian country where employment opportunities are very less. And also due to COVID, I'm sure that in coming 1 and 2 years, employment will be very, difficult as well for the young and fresh graduate to enter in the job market. So they might be frustrated. If they have the technical skill, they will be ahead than who doesn't have this technical degree. So on this note, I would like to thank this university and all those representatives who are doing it. And I'm looking forward to contributing in coming days for making it successful from Bangladesh or anywhere I can go. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. And I was actively listening this program. It was one of the great webinar which I have attended last few months. Thank you again to the organizer for organizing this event. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much, Muhammad. sir. So now, as we are really running out of time, I will go to the closing session. So now I would like to invite Dr. Prakash Chandra Bhattrai sir for the closing remarks. Dr. Prakash Chandra Bhattrai is an associate professor at Kathmandu University School of Education. He is the 2015 Paul Wegley Award winner for the doctoral thesis on ethical leadership of TVET principles. He is also the highly commended award winner of 2015 Emerald Outstanding Doctoral Research Award, selected by the Journal of Educational Administration. He teaches qualitative, quantitative, and mixed method research and carries out research in the education and development sector of Nepal. Since 2015, he has been leading the Department of Development Education, under which the MTVET program has been currently running. So I would like to invite Dr. Prakash Chandra Bhattrai sir for the closing remarks. Thank you so much, sir. Over to you.
Thank you, Rujina. Thank you so much. Respected Dean Sir, Dr. Usha Bhandari, Dr. Hari Lamsal, Dr. Jiwak Bajracharya, and participants from several countries. I have seen people from different parts of the globe, from Africa to South Asia and other countries. And of course, MTVET students and faculties. Namaste and good evening to you all. First of all, I feel blessed to get this opportunity to speak to conclude the session in this today's program. Your presence has made us excited to work more on TVET sector and to run similar program in future. And I would like to express my gratitude for your time and favor. And in the meantime, it's amazing that students run such a promoting program among, uniting themselves. And before that, I'd like to share my feelings or my ideas about MTVET, Masters in Technical and Vocational Education and Training Program under LILAM project. LILAM project is, of course, linking education with labor market. You know, universities are mostly engaged in knowledge production, knowledge record, and dissemination of the knowledge as well. In TVET sector, in fact, we are doing the same. We are engaged for knowledge production since we carry out researches. You know, some researches are on pipeline. So we are trying to explore on the linkage between education and labor market, skill mismatch, and job quality. And we are trying to explore TVET in relation to youth. So this is no more than knowledge production. In the meantime, you are also trying to explore. You have your own specific research as well. Many students are engaged to carry out studies. All right. So I have already seen some theses which are going to be published very soon. So these research are very meaningful for the TVET development. And this project has been initiated jointly by 4 countries. You know it very well. Nepal and Benin are low-income countries, as well as Costa Rica and Chile are the middle-income countries. And there is the well-known Swiss university currently linked with us, that is ETH Zurich. And this has built a network to develop TVET sector. So this is a very good opportunity for all of us. And MTVET program, you know, that's the 2-year program that has been the product of LILAM project, let's say. So with this LILAM project, it has helped a much. This project has helped a lot. And it has produced the human resources. It has really produced the human resources, which is currently going to be working in different areas of TVET sector. You know, this Odjo has also presented how this TVET sector is in job market, or it has got the attention of the job seekers as well as employers. And the first batch of MTVET students have already passed out, and fourth batch is entering into the system. So in that sense, our experience that all levels of governments are in demands for the kind of human resources, and they are taken very positively. And more students started to join the program, we have seen the future of it. So in that sense, students got the learning opportunities, right? They have got the learning opportunities. The particularly newcomers have got a kind of opportunities to learn. And those who have experience, such as faculties, also have got the chance to build their capacities further. And as I explained earlier, we have knowledge production, and we carried out researches. We started to publish, and there is the dissemination as well, and dissemination in the form of journals, dissemination in the form of articles, and we have pulled the resources from province government as well. You know, there are 5 scholarships for female students, particularly of province 3. So this has a kind of like resource gaining as well. And this department has become a resourceful in learning, and it has like we have created a kind of opportunity among ourselves as well. We have get a kind of like linkage among ourselves. So the newcomers also get the similar opportunities. So in the sense, it's the time to highlight the program or disseminate the program among wider people. All right. In the word of Vikas Khaju, I got it from chat box here. It's the vibrant. Vikas Khaju is one of the alumni of this program. He said it's a vibrant MTVET, very vibrant MTVET scholars. I'm borrowing his word. The country is going to have more dynamic and competent leaders in TVET sector. That's true. In fact, it's true. I'm just borrowing his word. These are not my word. So I do agree on it. We are developing human resources, and these human resources work in several parts of the country, developing the TVET sector. And of course, this will help much, not only in Nepal, but in the other parts of the globe as well, right? Since many students, many of our students are from several countries, that shows that they contribute for the future TVET development. All right. Having said so, I don't like to speak much. The time has gone. So I would like to say goodbye to you all, and thank you. Thank you for this program. Especially thank you to Rujina and Sunila, Odjo, Bahadur, Raksha, who have shared their views today. And I have no words, and I hope that you will contribute. You all, it's not only you and Raj Bahadur as well, Bahadur, Raj Bahadur, Giri. So I hope that you will contribute. You will be contributing, since it's our one program, and we'll work together for this program, for the betterment of this program and for the development of TVET sector. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for your closing remarks. Thank you, everyone. We have come to an end. So with all the insightful presentation and experience sharing, I would like to thank everyone who have made this meeting possible, and a very big thank you to our key speaker, Dr. Hari Prasad Lamsal sir and Dr. Usha Bhandari ma'am. And I would also like to thank Lelam Benin team for participating on this program. Participants from Sudan, Bangladesh, Japan, and Nepal. And thank you, Helvetas team and Ensure team for participating in this webinar. Thank you so much, everyone, for your active participation. We're hoping to meet everyone soon again in this webinar, again in this kind of webinar. So thank you so much for participating.
Is a pioneer program that Kathmandu University School of Education began in 2018. The program focuses on preparing educators, managers, researchers, and entrepreneurs in the field of technical and vocational education. Pursuing MTVET in Kathmandu University School of Education is CNN Hero of the Year 2012, Puspa Basnit.
After joining this course, it has really helped me in my personal and professional line of working inside the prison. It's been almost like 15 years that I've been working inside the prison with children, with the inmates. But after joining this course, I have really seen what is the market that now it's happening with technical and vocational education, that I really want to implement this project inside the prison. That is the reason I've joined this course.
As Puspa Basnit plans to carry her TVET knowledge inside the walls of the prison, Anil Bajracharya, another third semester student and a government CTVT worker, has other plans.
I joined the KU in MTVET. Now I have a very good confidence that I can contribute in the policy making in the TVET sector, and I can be a very good leader, manager in the TVET Institute or the polytechnics or the technical schools, and of course I can contribute much more in the research work of the TVET.
While the enrolled students of third semester plan to further expand their spectrum of knowledge, the new ones arrive with noble expectations.
My motive to study MTVET is to build up the network and to cover the gap I have since graduation. The gap is in education and in the skill.
And I'm here with the expectation of connecting the bridge between technical field and job market.
I applied to TVET program because currently in my country we do not have sufficient and skillful TVET planners, educators, and leaders. I expect that from this program I will get some theoretical and practical skills that can help me to improve and change TVET system of my country.
The first from South Asia, MTVET is the only such program in Nepal. Along with MTVET, Lelam Project also conducts several research-based programs. To enrich the advanced research, PhD, and postdoc funding has also been granted to the students. Another objective of Lelam Project is the Employment Linkage Index, ELI. It is conducted in different contexts of low and middle income countries.
The COF Education Employment Linkage Index, abbreviated as COF-ELI, measures the interactions of these actors in different sub-processes where these actors can and should interact, such as in terms of defining the qualification standards and the combination of workplace training and classroom education.
One of the other activities of Lelam Project is financial flow study.
We have collected last 10 years data from what has been the investment from public sector. Each year, how much money the government has allocated, and how are this money goes from the one level of government to other level of governments. That is from federal government to provincial governments, and from provincial governments to local governments.
Similarly, Lelam TVET for Income also prepares asset mapping of TVET sector in Nepal.
The asset mapping covers all TVET formal, non-formal, and informal programs, which included 17 different features of the individual training programs.
The asset mapping is the first attempt of providing collective information of all TVET programs existing in the country. Altogether, 46 TVET programs are listed in asset mapping. Another activity of the LAM project is Managing Randomized Control Trial, RCT, study of apprenticeship collaboration.
RCT is a type of scientific experiment when testing the effectiveness of new interventions. In the project, we analyzed the dual-weight apprenticeships program as an intervention Nepal, which stands integration of classroom activities with work experience. During these interventions, we have been employing mixed method approach, combining semi-structure stakeholder interviews with structured surveys among companies, apprentices, and applicants to analyze what works and what doesn't work in the current configurations of the dual-weight apprenticeships.
Thus, not only does LAM project conduct various activities, it also collaborates with various stakeholders.
Right from the beginning of LAM project, we have been conducting a series of interaction programs with TVET stakeholders. They are government agencies, private sectors, TVET experts, and youth.
With all these activities rigorously in progress, with the motive of informing people, a conference took place on 11th and 12th September to discuss the current issues and future prospects of TVET project. One of the major future prospects in the pipeline is the collaboration with University Grant Commission, UGC, which plans to provide scholarships to 30 students. Another prospect is to be associated with Federation of Nepalese Chamber of Commerce and Industries, FNCCI. The government is a leading partner and works to promote entrepreneurship development. It is to provide training in all 7 provinces, seeking to produce 14,000 skilled manpower in next 5 years. LAM project has been carrying out various activities in accordance with the development in Nepal. Considering the federalization of Nepal with the new constitution of 2015, there is a lot of opportunities in the development and strengthening of TVET sector. As this LAM project continues, it expands its horizons to embrace the wide-ranging diversity of Nepal. It seeks to empower the youth of the nation in TVET sector so that the present generation can save the generation of yesterday and tomorrow.
So,
Great.
thank you so much.
Good night and good evening to everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so
Night.
much, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye. Manjay.